Africa isn't just a place on the map. Africa is a pulse, a rhythm, a heartbeat the entire world has been dancing to, even when it didn't realize it. Today, we're breaking down how African music has shaped the world, from hip-hop to samba to EDM, and how a Cameroonian classic became one of the biggest World Cup anthems of all time. Let's dive in, shall we? Before music became an industry, it was a language, and Africa spoke it first. Call and response, percussive storytelling, these weren't just musical technique, they were communication systems. Africa created the blueprint. When millions of Africans were forced to cross the Atlantic Ocean, they carried their culture with them, in memory, in movement, and in music. From those memories came the blues, from the blues came the jazz, from jazz came rock, from spirituals came gospel, from gospel came soul, from soul came R&B, and from R&B came hip-hop. In Brazil, African rhythms became samba. In the Caribbean, they became reggae, soca, and dancehall. Latin America, they shaped cumbia and reggaeton. These genres aren't inspired by Africa, they descended from Africa. Fast forward to today, Africa isn't just influencing global music. Africa is leading music. Afrobeat is shaping pop and R&B. Amapiano is taking over clubs from Johannesburg to Paris to Sao Paulo. African producers are behind some of the biggest hits on the planet, and the world is finally catching up. Producers everywhere digging into African sound archives for chants, choirs, percussion, and melodies. By the way, check out my last video. I used African choirs to build up a whole track. Anyways, and one of the most famous example, a song from Cameroon that traveled farther than anyone expected. Waka Waka, you heard that before, right? In 1986, a Cameroonian group called Golden Sounds released Zangalewa, a playful, satirical, call and response anthem that became a classic across Africa. Soldiers marched to it, families danced to it, and then the world heard it. When Fifa chose Shakira to perform the official World Cup song, her team built the chorus of Waka Waka, this time for Africa, directly from Zangalewa. The result? A global explosion. Billions of people, many hearing African music consciously for the very first time, danced to a melody that had lived in African hearts for decades. Yes, there were debates about credits and representation, but one thing was undeniable. African sound became the soundtrack to the world's biggest event. Waka Waka wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural bridge. Waka Waka proved something powerful. African melodies are universal. African rhythms unite people across borders. African culture can anchor global moment without losing its identity. It showed the world what Africa already knew. Our sound is global. From ancient drum circles to global pop anthems, Africa has always been the world's heartbeat. Its music isn't a trend, it's a lineage, a legacy, a force. And every time the world dances, celebrates, or sings together, it's Africa's rhythm that brings us into sync. If you felt this, hit that like, subscribe button, and share this with someone who loves music and didn't know about African heritage and influences on global music. This was Sun Prod with another video. Check out my latest track of the week to see what I just cooked up. Alright, see you soon.